I really like the way Caleb Williams is just driving the ball. He's confident. Haven't all ended up in completions, but he is putting the ball with some juice on target on this drive.
Giants bring an extra man. It's picked up. Williams flushed. Williams room to run. There goes Caleb Williams. There goes Caleb Williams. First and goal, Chicago. Williams runs for 29, and they've got it at the 1.
Tell you what, last week in that shootout in Cincinnati, when they needed Caleb Williams to be his best, he was awesome. And down 2 scores late in the 4th quarter, he's been great on this drive.
Clock winds under 4. End zone wide open. Odunze for the Bears touchdown. And Chicago not finished yet. Longest run of Caleb Williams' career, 29 yards, sets up the touchdown pass. And the first touchdown for the Bears since midway through the 1st quarter. This is what they've done. Close games seemingly every week. And for the first time in a long time, years, decade, they've been winning these close games.
For a minute there, I actually looked on the sideline with Ben Johnson, a little more of a progressive thought. Would he consider going for 2? I understand you want to make it a field goal game, but if the idea is to win in regulation, there's a conversation to be had about making this a 2-point game.
Traditional route, 20-17. Yeah, Caleb Williams, you said it. Without the drops, his line looks a whole lot different. He's got 194 yards, but there have been 5 or 6 drops. He's probably closer to 300 if they catch everything they should. And time and again today, the Giants have had chances to get him for a sack, haven't been able to, and it's turned into big plays.
Yeah, I mean, going into that possession, this was the 3rd highest rate of pressure that Caleb Williams has been under the entire season. And the Giants have yet to be able to get him on the ground. You look back a year ago, it was the pressure to sack rate. They were historically bad protecting the passer, part due to the offensive line, part due to the scheme, and part of just having a rookie quarterback. But all game, especially on that possession, they couldn't get him down, and he caps it off to Rome Odunze, who's had a great game today, following a pretty quiet one a week ago.
Yeah, after he was shut out for the first time in his career, he's got 6 catches for 86 yards. Just to put a bow on that conversation about the Giants pass rush, they have 12 pressures, no sacks. And that is part of what Caleb Williams brings. That's the headline of what he brought out of college, out of USC. This guy can make stuff happen. And the Bears, even on a day where it does not look great, find themselves within 3 with a chance to do what they seemingly do every week. And that is find a way. 5-3 this season. 3 of the 5 wins, they've gotten the game-winning touchdown on the last drive. Oshesky takes a touchback. 3:56 to go, and it has been the difference for these 2 teams. You got the Bears of this blocked field goal against the Raiders. Won that game 25-24. Jake Moody had his chance, game-winning field goal against Washington, and then last week they had a 2-touchdown lead with a couple minutes left. That got wiped away, only to grasp it right back and win it on the long touchdown to Loveland. Ben Johnson said, I love that we're finding a way. Now we got to get more of a killer mindset, not let teams hang around, not find ourselves in these situations. Can his defense come up with a stop? Welcome those of you that just watched the Saints upset the Panthers. 20-17, Giants in front with the ball. Dart out of the game with a concussion. Russell Wilson has taken over. Play action on the first play of this drive. Wilson chased. Montez Sweat gets there. Sweat has come to life. 4th consecutive game he's gotten a sack for Chicago.
And Russell Wilson's kind of in a tough spot there because you don't want to throw it away and stop the clock. And you certainly don't want to run out of bounds and stop the clock. So what you're trying to do is just get as close to the original line of scrimmage as possible and give himself up. There's just no one to go. There's no one really to go to with the ball. And right now you're just trying to make sure that you keep this clock running and try to get it below the 2-minute warning and get a couple first downs.
Bears have all 3 timeouts, down 3. 2nd and 12. Straight ahead Singletary. Just a few. Stopped by Sweat again. And the Giants looking for their first road win in more than a year. 399 days since they went into Seattle week 5 last year. They've dropped 10 in a row away from home. That ties the franchise record. They've led this one pretty much throughout. And the Bears have taken a timeout. They're first with 3:06. Chicago's 5-3 in Ben Johnson's first season. All this excitement, especially coming off last week's thrilling win. For a lot of today, that was doused with the way this was going. But Ben Johnson said after the game last week, do not let us hang around in the fourth quarter. And they've proven that that's going to be part of their identity, being tough, finding ways late in tight games. And we know in the NFL, most of them are going to be like this.
Yeah, and think, earlier in this fourth quarter, they had the ball at the half-yard line, elected to keep the 3 points following the field goal, following the too many men penalty. So a lot could happen in a little over 3 minutes, but just something to keep in mind down the stretch.
3rd and 7. Wilson gets sacked by Gardner Johnson. Second of the day for CJ. And the second timeout taken by Chicago with 3:01 on the clock.
And now a few times, Jermaine Illuminor, the right tackle, you can see the center's working right. Just keep kicking. Keep kicking. You have the widest rusher, that's C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You just can't let him be untouched into the face of Russell Wilson. And, you know, between takeaways, third down, it hasn't always been pretty all season, let alone today for this Chicago Bears defense. But don't they just seem to make a play, rise to the occasion when it matters the most?
Have not been able to say that about Chicago Bears teams in a long time.
You know, there is an art to winning close games, you know, and it's coaching, it's situational awareness. There's a lot of elements, including luck, but something they were not very good at a year ago has really changed. Well, obviously, with 3 minutes to go, they got some work to do.
Gillen to punt. And it's off the side of his foot. What a disaster of a day for Jamie Gillen. It's a 26-yard shank. And the Bears down 3 are going to have the ball near midfield.
All right, well, what did we say about New York? Let's just reset here on the final 3 minutes. Take a look quick at the shank. You mentioned he lost his kickoff duties, kicked one out of bounds, kicked one short of the landing zone before the half. But when you got a bunch of first-round picks on the defensive line, $100 million contracts, this is where this Chicago defense needs to bail out their offense one time this year. They've had a lot of late leads, a lot of heartbreaking losses, and where pass rush and defensive front really show their value in this league is protecting the lead late.
Meanwhile, what do you want in a franchise quarterback? What do you want when you draft the guy first overall? You want the arm strength. You want the swagger and the leadership. You want the ability to lead game-winning drives. And Caleb Williams tries to do so for the 4th time in the Bears' last 6 games. From the 47, one timeout, down 3, 2:53 left. They started off with a swift run. DeAndre Swift into Giants territory.
All right, so game management right now for Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams. You want to just get this thing to a clean set of downs underneath the 2-minute warning. So first down run, they'll snap this with about 2:10 to 2:08. Try to get this thing to first down under the 2-minute, and then you just go play. You try to score and win in regulation, knowing you have a field goal to tie.
Yeah, but you're thinking touchdown. We've seen both teams avoid their kickers like the plague today.
Yeah, at home, you do not want to play for overtime.
Especially with this weather. Williams, a deep drop, lets it rip. He's got Burden. Luther Burden inside the 25 and still going to the 19. 26 yards for the rookie. To the 2-minute warning. The Bears, what feels like just a moment ago, looked down and out and finished. They have come to life. Are they ready to do it again down the stretch? We got the finish coming up from Chicago. Well, this has been the Bears all season. It's not perfect. It's not always pretty, but in the end, they've got a shot. Down 3, closing minutes, first down and 10 of the 19. Caleb Williams again finding his best here in the fourth quarter. DeAndre Swift got stopped by Robertson Harris. Minute 54. And New York has used its first timeout.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, so now if you're Brian Daboll, you always want to use your timeouts when your defense is on the field. It's a lot easier to stop the clock when you're on offense. Obviously, you can clock it, you can throw it out of bounds, throw it incomplete. There's a million ways to stop it. So he's going to exhaust all of his timeouts here, try to keep as much time remaining to extend this game. Now we'll see how aggressive Ben Johnson wants to be. I just think right now with the way this game has flipped here in the fourth quarter, in the mind of Ben Johnson, you're trying to put this game done in regulation. Selling for overtime seems like a secondary thought.
And not wanting to put it on the foot of your kicker on a windy day here. Second down, a fake, a boot. Williams running. Caleb Williams into the end zone. Did he stay in bounds? Still no signal. Now they say yes, a touchdown, 17 yards, and the Bears have taken the lead. A shanked punt, and then a minute later, the Bears have come all the way back and lead with 1:47 left.
Down the stretch, you just can't play quarterback any better than what we've seen the last 2 possessions from Caleb Williams.
Doing it with his arm, doing it with his feet. 63 yards rushing, pretty much all of it coming here in the fourth quarter.
All right, so take a look. They're going to try to sneak Cole Kmet out the backside of this play action on what they call a slide route. And I thought coming out of the break, Brian Burns, he bites for the fake. Right there, I thought he was going to put it on him. But watch the job. Cole Kmet turns into a blocker. He takes Tyler Nubin 5 yards into the end zone. The second he knew he wasn't getting that ball. Look at the block. That's what springs Caleb Williams untouched into the end zone. And you know what? You've said it 5 times. It hasn't always looked perfect. The defense has some questions. The offense looked a little disjointed at times, but this fourth quarter, ever since, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but ever since the Giants had the ball on the 1-yard line, they kick a field goal, there's 12 men. It'd be half the distance. It'd be 4th and goal to go up 24-10 on the road in the fourth quarter. They elect to decline the penalty. They go up 20-10. Since then, with a backup quarterback in essence in Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart's out, their offense has gone to sleep, and Caleb Williams has led this Bears offense on a big-time fourth quarter, and that's just the way it goes.
And the Giants defense has now given up 75 points in the fourth quarter the last 4 games, starting with that 33-point Denver explosion. Fox NFL doubleheader continues next. America's Game of the Week, Matthew Stafford and the Rams, Christian McCaffrey and the Niners, or Lions Commanders. Check the local listings for the game in your area right here on Fox. Where normally you lose your franchise rookie quarterback and it's like, oh no, how in the world are we going to come back? We got a guy who might not be in his prime, but Russell Wilson is many game-winning drives as anybody this generation.
And the last 2 drives, 6 plays, minus 4 yards. So they got to find a little 2-minute drill and a little magic out of Russell Wilson.
Scans, throws it away. 2nd and 10. Caleb Williams, my oh my, as the Bears in front. Jackson Dart out of the game. These 2 veterans getting together. Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson. And Wilson, who was thrilling in that Week 2 game, which wound up being an overtime loss in Dallas, but showed that he's still got it, still got his big game and late game ability. with 1:40. He'll tuck it and go. And he's got a first down to the 46. Stopped by Edmonds. 2 timeouts still, 1:30. Need a touchdown.
Yeah, a lot of time here. If you're the Giants, you can throw the ball anywhere on the field. There's a lot of space here in the middle. Got to imagine some of these guys are going to drop.
5-man rush. Dumped off. Tracy. Not much. Barely a yard. Edmonds and Jarrett combined.
2-minute drill. You just don't want to throw checkdowns for no yards. Either throw it at his feet. The clock is more important than a few yards. You want chunk plays, and you want to stop the clock.
They got a yard, but they lose about 20 seconds in the process. Hang on to those timeouts, 2 of them. Wilson wanted to go deep, wasn't there. Throws it incomplete, third and 10. And Russell right away pointing there is the guy I was throwing to. That's not grounding. Brisker coming with the pressure. Well, this was 20-10. The Giants had the lead, and we're going in to make it a 3-score lead. But Jackson Dart lost the ball and got hurt on the same play. Only turnover of the game, and he was lost with a concussion. The turning point right there, midway through the third quarter. 46 seconds left, Bears by 4. Wan'Dale Robinson couldn't hang on. The Giants are down to their last breath.
Yeah, just a ball that has to be caught, especially in a 2-minute drive. Throws him away from the coverage, trying to set him in that little hole between Wright and Gardner Johnson, and Robinson catches that ball. He gets vertical, and he's got a chance, but comes down to this 4th down.
Kind of fitting on a day where the teams have been going for it from the start. 4th and 10, last chance, New York. 3 to snap it. Pressure coming. Picked up. Arm hit as he threw. Ball game. The Bears somehow, some way, continue to find a way.
Yeah, Tremaine Edmonds off the right side just wins his matchup. I mean, it's deja vu if you're a Giants fan, and it really just poses the question at some point, for all the good that Brian Daboll, the development of Jackson Dart, all the good that we've seen from him. They've lost some top guys to injury, but they had a chance to put this game away to some degree by making it 14. And when you play to not lose, as opposed to playing to win, it can come back and bite you.
Tremaine Edmonds gets his hand on that throw right there. The 6th turnover on downs today. That's the most in an NFL game in 25 years. Not the best day for 4th down offense here.
Yeah, they got to go back to the drawing board, both sides. Both sides.
And the Bears, this is the 4th time in the last 6 games that Caleb Williams will lead a game-winning drive. And, man, it was all Caleb Williams, whether he was putting it on the money with his throws. Some of them caught, some of them dropped, but overcome by him taking off with his feet. The longest run of his career helped set up 1 touchdown. And then it was a run of a touchdown, the winning score. Dennis Allen's defense for a lot of the day was not pretty. They gave up more than 400 yards, but did just enough to get it back to their franchise quarterback one more time. So the Bears get their 6th win out of their last 7 games, moved to 6-3 on the year. The Giants drop an 11th consecutive road game. We get you to Kirk Menefee in Los Angeles for the State Farm Game Break.